Ladies and gentlemen, the man that you're looking at is the U.S. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, probably the worst to ever run the Postal Service by far, a Trump appointee. So the USPS proposed plan to slow down deliveries, raise first class mail prices. So this is the New York Post, March 23rd, 2021. The U.S. Postal Service on Tuesday outlined a proposed 10-year strategy plan that would slow current first class delivery standards and raise some prices to stem the $160 billion in forecast red ink over the next decade. So the U.S. Postal Service is underwater. And they have $160 billion in debt. The plan would revise the existing one. When you get your first class mail in 1 to 3 days, it will go to 1 to 5 days. That's what he's proposing. 61% of current first class mail volume would stay at its current standard. It would shift more delivery to trucks rather than airplanes and consolidate mail processing and cut hours at some retail locations. The plan measures, uh, this is what they're saying, the plan overall will cost $44 billion in revenue from price increases, but officials declined to offer further details. U.S. Postmaster General Lou DeJoy is a supporter of former President Donald Trump. Now you know why the Postal Service is in bad shape. Who was named last year the head of the USPS, says without changes, the Postal Service would need a government bailout, something it does not want to seek. Mm-mm-mm. DeJoy acknowledges the U.S. Postal Service performed poorly over the holiday season as it was inundated by package deliveries, even as first class mail volume shrank. The U.S. Postal Service needs significant financial relief from Congress and the Biden administration for pre funding obligations and other changes that could address the $58 billion in anticipated losses. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi criticized DeJoy's plan, but said Congress will ensure in a forthcoming infrastructure bill the Postal Service has the resources needed to serve the American people. The U.S. Postal Service has reported net losses totaling $86.7 billion from 2007 through 2020. Yeah, and they still have a big backlog. And all this man got to do is hire some contractors to get out there and help with the mail delivery, but he won't do it. Christmas was horrible, and this was the man running it at the time. All right. One reason for the red ink is that Congress in 2006 passed legislation requiring the U.S. Postal Service pre-fund more than $120 billion in retiree, healthcare, and pension liabilities. Representative Carolyn Maloney, who chairs the committee overseeing the U.S. Postal Service, has circulated draft legislation to address the U.S. Postal Service financial issues. DeJoy says current standards are not achievable. For the budget year, average first class mail service performed at 89.7%, significantly low and below their intended target. The planned investments of $4 billion to refurbish retail outlets, consolidate some city postal locations, and seek to move more first class mail by trucks rather than air. The U.S. Postal Service does not own its airplanes. The U.S. Postal Service also said it could commit to all electric delivery fleet by 2035 with the assistance of Congress and vowed to spend $11 billion on vehicles over the next decade. Earlier this month, the U.S. Postal Service said it would electrify its fleet to a maximum extent, operationally feasible to it if it receives $8 billion in government assistance. In February, the U.S. Postal Service picked Oshkosh Defense for a multi-billion dollar contract to make up to 165,000 delivery vehicles, rejecting an all-electric bid by Workhorse Group. So, as usual, the U.S. Postal Service is struggling. And I mean, look at the situation that we're in. And you're talking, they had such a major backlog at the beginning of the year. You would think that would have kind of tampered down. It didn't. They are still badly backlogged. There are still people out here getting bills and packages late and paying late fees because they never got it in the first place. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.